Enforcers.
Well, my fellow peeps, it's the Christmas season again, and you thought that this Home Alone franchise wouldn't suck dick even fucking harder since the prequel. Well, guess what? The fourth Home Alone movie has existed, entitled Home Alone 4, Take It Back the House, which is a 2002 American made-for-television Christmas family comedy film directed by Rod Daniel, which first aired ABC on November 3rd, 2002, as the first episode of the 47th season of The Wonderful World of Disney, followed by a DVD release on September 2nd, 2003. A standalone sequel to Home Alone 3 and the fourth installment of that Home Alone franchise. The film stars French Stewart, Eric Avari, Barbara Babcock, Jason Begg, Claire Carey, Jonah Gowen, Missy Pyle, and Mike Weinberg as Kevin McCallister. Okay, well, I don't know how fucking balls it's gonna suck, but let's just go there. Okay, what I say, it follows Kevin spending his Christmas time with his father and his new girlfriend and his old enemy Marv and his wife Vera come up with a plan to kidnap a visiting prince with help from an inside person that Kevin least suspects. The film is the first in the Home Alone franchise not to receive a theatrical release. Well, why am I not surprised? Or, matter of fact, why are not any of the Home Alone fans not surprised over that shit? Why aren't they surprised over that? This is unfortunate. The first film without any contributions from John Hughes, the creator of the Home Alone series and whom gave us Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it does not include any of the original cast members. Not even Macaulay fucking Culkin! Okay, so the movie begins with a fucking sad plot where, the sad start where Peter McCallister, finalizing a divorce from his soon-to-be ex-wife Kate, announces their children, Buzz, Megan, and Kevin, that he and his wealthy girlfriend, Natalie Calbon, are hosting the visit of a royal family at her mansion and invites them to spend Christmas there. After the three initially refused, Kevin accepts the offer after being bullied by Buzz and reveals the mansion luxuries. Well, looks like karma's a bitch, right, Buzz? The next morning, Peter and Natalie go out while Kevin stays with Natalie's servants, Mr. Prescott and Molly. Kevin notices his old nemesis, Marv Merchants, and his wife, Vera, scouting the house after failing to get Mr. Prescott's attention via the intercom. He drives the intruders away by flooding the mansion. When Peter and Natalie return, they refuse to believe Kevin's explanation, especially since Mr. Prescott claims to have seen nothing. Then Kevin discovers that the security cameras had been turned off during the break-in. Oh, that's a fucked up shit. Leading him to believe that Mr. Prescott is involved with Marv and Vera. So to cheer themselves up, Kevin, Peter, and Natalie decorate their Christmas tree, although it's later retrimmed by professional decorators at Natalie's request. As the mansion is prepared for a party for the royal family's arrival, Peter and Natalie leave to pick them up, while Kevin notices Marv and Vera disguised as cat terriers. The fuck is that? He traps Mr. Prescott in the freezer, overhears Marv and Vera's plan to kidnap the prince and hold him for a ransom, and forces them out of a second-story window. The royal family is unable to attend the party because their flight was cancelled. Ah, that's a shocker. That's not how you celebrate Christmas, with the cancellation of a flight. So Peter and Natalie decide to announce their engagement instead. Okay, so that's to make up the cancellation of the flight? I'll be damned. Okay, Marv and Vera run back into the house to pursue Kevin, who accidentally ruins the party by running into the guests and knocking over an ice sculpture that turns out to be the frozen Mr. Prescott. Oh, son of a bitch. Mr. Prescott was frozen, and now he's back out? And the angered Peter sends his son Kevin into his room, refusing to believe his story of the criminals' plot to kidnap the prince and hold him for a ransom, and accusing him of trying to sabotage his relationship with Natalie, who threatens to evict him if he makes poor decisions again. Well, this movie sucked dicks even harder by anyone refusing to believe what Kevin has saw with his very own eyes. Taking matters into his own hands, Kevin sets up death traps for Marv and Vera. Well, not really death traps, because saying the word death and traps is just too much of a PG film. Wait a minute, how can I say that this is a PG film when it's never released in theaters? The next morning, the duo head to the house after Peter and Natalie leave to pick up the Royals. Kevin locks Mr. Prescott in the basement, but eventually discovers Marv and Vera's real accomplice, whom is Molly, which is also Marv's mother. Kevin is locked in the basement with Mr. Prescott, and Mr. Prescott says with the smart remotes, Molly gave the offenders they had shut off the cameras during the break-in when he was taking an unscheduled break from his duties because he despises working for Natalie. Dude, what the hell? And then he and Kevin then apologize for misjudging each other after several failed attempts to call Kate back. Kevin escapes via from the house's dumbwaiter and temporarily traps Marv underneath it. Marv and Vera pursue Kevin throughout the house, where they spring the traps and suffer various injuries, while Molly is trapped in the house's elevator. At the airport, Peter suspects that something is wrong back at the house, takes a cab back to Natalie's to check on Kevin due to a suspicious phone call received from Kate of Kevin's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Kate, Buzz, and Megan also drive to the mansion due to the suspicious nature of the calls made by both Peter and Molly about Kevin's whereabouts. And then Kevin uses an altered recording of Marv's voice to spark an argument between him and Vera. Then Kevin bitch slaps Marv in the groin, wow, a fucking low blow, with a remote-controlled plane causing Marv to fall down the flight of stairs, taking Vera along with him. The duo is then tricked by Kevin with the secret wall switch, ends up being launched onto the chandelier, and are knocked unconscious by their fall. Molly, having escaped the elevator, grabs Kevin, but is quickly knocked out cold by Mr. Prescott, who also escaped via the dumbwaiter shaft and calls the police. Shaft. Get what I'm saying? Okay, as Peter, Kate, Buzz, and Megan arrive, Kevin, with Buzz and Megan's help, prevents a final escape attempt from Marv and Vera. The royal family and Natalie arrived, and the offenders plot to kidnap the prince is revealed to be Natalie's shock. Mr. Prescott, per Kevin's advice, resigns from his position as her butler, realizing that their relationship was built on infatuation rather than love and was affecting his responsibilities as a husband and father. So, what the hell happened next? Okay, Peter breaks up with Natalie and reconciles with Kate and their children, grateful to Kevin for his foiling of the kidnapping plot. The royals spend Christmas with the newly reunited McCallisters, devastating Natalie. Well, karma's a bitch. Alright, so according to Wikipedia, the production of this quadrilogy, Home Alone 4 was filmed in Cape Town, South Africa. Well, why am I not surprised? Wait a second! Wasn't the McCallister's house, ever filmed in Winnetka, Illinois? Doesn't that confuse the hell out of you peeps by the time you watched all 4 of those Home Alone films? Okay, what the hell am I supposed to say this? Okay. In November 2020, Disney began to feature the first 3 Home Alone films of their streaming device on Disney Plus in celebration of the first film's 30th anniversary. The 4th and 5th installments were released on HBO Max and were added to Disney Plus on December 17th, 2021. So the critical response is that Clint Morse at Movie Hole gave Home Alone 4 1 out of 5 stars, writing, "From the unappealing, cheapish opening titles to murky production values, it's immediately obvious Home Alone 4 isn't playing in the same park as its beloved predecessor." Or predecessor, shit. Sad. Yeah, it is fucking sad indeed. Jolly Herman of Common Sense Media also rated the film 1 out of 5 stars and wrote, "Recycled gags with none of the original's charm." Yeah, it doesn't sound the same, right? Jerry Roberts of Armchair Media gave the film 1 out of 4 stars. Sue Robinson of Radio Times gave the film 1 out of 5 stars, writing that, "You have to wonder why they bothered." Yeah. Okay, whereas Home Alone 3 featured a standalone plot and new characters, this film brings back several of the main characters from the first two films, including Kevin McCallister, but with all of the roles played by different actors. It was the last film that Rod Daniel directed before his subsequent retirement and his unfortunate death in 2016. Ah, damn, I cannot believe that. Yeah, the cause of the director's death was at his Chicago home from complications of Parkinson's disease back in April 16th, 2016. He was 73 years old, so my condolences to his family. Other than that, IMDb gave this movie a score of 2.6 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 23%. So, why did Home Alone 4 fail? According to the AI overview of Google, it failed due to a poorly received casted script, low budget production, and significant departures from the original film's continuity and tone. Key issues included an absence of the original actors, a convoluted plot involving the parents' remarriage, and a cheap-ass feel that fucking lacked the charm of the first two movies. According to Money Movie, the How the Home Alone franchise died, which is actually entitled The Story of the Decline of the Home Alone franchise. Yeah, spit facts, Money Movie. Yeah, you sure know how to spit facts like a true genius of how this franchise hit rock bottom since the fucking prequel existed. None of these Home Alone films are the same without Kevin McCallister or any of the original actors. So in conclusion, my fellow peeps, stay the fuck away from Home Alone 4. No, wait, better than that? Stay the fuck away from Home Alone's 3 and 4 and all those fucking sequels that aren't worth a fuck. Because, trust me, none of these films of Home Alone aren't even worth of watching all that shit. Because it's just not the same. It's not the fucking same. So I suggest y'all watch the first two Home Alone movies, and that's all there is to that.